Good morning, everybody. Justin Trudeau did another town hall last night, and I'm going to look at it as well because he just likes to rewrite history. It's really interesting. But yesterday, I had a problem with a turn of phrase that Trudeau said, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, what is he trying to say? And what I came up with was not what he was trying to say, but you can see why. He said, part of everything we need to do to keep Canadians safe is to keep people from away, out of this country, is simply not the way we are as Canadians. Okay, so I heard it as from a way out of this country instead of a way out. It's a really strange turn of phrase. He doesn't name them. He doesn't say immigrants or migrants or anything. He just kind of says, oh, people who aren't here, people from... What a weird way to say it. It's very strange. And there's more really strange things in today's. But before we get to that, check out CanadaPoly.com. We'd love to have you. It's a private forum. That means you have to register. Once you register, you have access to all of our conversations, and we'd love to converse with you. So come join us. It's an uncensored talk about Canadian politics. I felt it was sadly lacking. All of the places that I used to talk about Canadian politics are censored or banned or shadow banned or whatever. That won't happen here, so it would be lovely to have more voices. Come on and join us. Okay, getting to today's video, Justin Trudeau continued with his town hall rally, and Christianity and Islam don't mix, man says at Trudeau Town Hall. People booed, but the PM engaged. Yesterday I mentioned that people are paid to do this, to clap and boo if Trudeau has an applause line, and they've talked about this. This is strategy. This is strategized, okay? So you can hear the really active people really well in this video, actually, like the person clapping, and there's a person who yells out who says, Trudeau says, this country was built by immigrants, and somebody yells out. We're not going to look at the whole video because I just can't stomach it, and there's so much to get to because he shovels so much BS in the last couple of minutes that it's not even funny. And there's other word salad as well, so we're going to look at that. We are going to hear what this gentleman's question is. So I've typed it out. These are my notes. These will be in the description. Feel free to check it out. And the link to everything I talk about is also in the description. So yeah, here we go. Here's the question.
So has my family, generations worth. And I'm watching what's going on the world stage. I'm looking at the fact that Germany, France, and a bunch of other European countries that stood up on the same side of the fence when tyranny was coming down on us. We've got an open border allowing this stuff to come in freely. And what are we doing about that thing in particular, an open border? What are we doing about it? Okay. You're talking about my freedom and everybody's lives who gave here. Everybody who put their life down on the line, and you're saying, it's okay, it won't happen to us. It's happening in France and it's happening all over.
Sorry, sir, what's happening?
The people are saying no, because these two cultures will not mix.
Which two cultures are those, sir?
Islam and Christianity.
No, sorry, okay, hang on. Let's be, sorry. Democracy only works in a country like Canada if people are free to express their fears, their concerns, their opinions, and we get an opportunity to respond to them. So I'm going to ask you all to be respectful of the speaker's question, and thank you for sharing your concerns, sir.
I've got one other thing I want to say about it.
Okay.
Is that they've openly stated that they want to kill us.
Okay.
And you're letting them in.
Okay. Sir,
Here's Trudeau looking for his talking point, okay? He spends almost 5 seconds looking for his talking point. Watch.
How am I going to go on this one? Canada is a country.
I found it.
It was built by immigration.
So there you go. Did you hear the agitator? He yelled out and then he started clapping, right? And that's to incite the crowd. That is planned. That is discussed. He's waiting for an applause line like that to get the crowd on Trudeau's side. That's the whole point.
Waves of people came to this country, were welcomed by the folks who had lived here for millennia, the First Nations and the folks here on Treaty 4.
Okay, this is where Trudeau starts rewriting history, and we're not going to get to that. I want to show you this. This is what, this is to the point of the question. This is Islam and Christianity. Trudeau never touches on Islam and never touches on Christianity, and really kind of tries to tries to massage history to fit his narrative of all of these wonderful immigrants coming to Canada. The reality is, Trudeau Sr. instituted the multiculturalism idea and Mulroney ratified it. And since 1987, that's been the policy of Canada. Before that, we had no multiculturalism policy and very little diversity, let's say. And so people trying to say that this is a country built by immigrants. Immigrants are very different than migrants and the people who are showing up to get welfare. And both of those classes are very different than pioneers. So you used to learn this in grade 1, 2, and 3. It's not surprising that Mr. Trudeau hasn't learned it. But anyway, getting back to my point, the question was about Christianity and Islam. This is a mosque in Toronto, and I'm going to show you some parts of it. I've got it muted because, I thought I had it muted. Oh, thanks, Twitter. Because it is, it's a celebration video. So this is a Toronto mosque. This is a Toronto imam, I believe, and this is a tweet by Amy Meck. I don't know who she is, but I found it. I am following her. And it says, quote, Toronto Islamic group brags as they tear down a cross and turn the church into a mosque. A translator reported to me that there is ISIS music playing in the background. Can anyone please confirm this? A banner is proudly hung claiming the church for Allah. So as I said, I've muted this, but you can see in, well, here, I'll fast forward. There we go. They're taking the cross down. This is the money shot, if you will. And I'll just fast forward, blah, 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 blah. So that's pretty incredible. Does that not look like, a celebration? And this is, this church is for Allah, right? So that's a conquer. This is them conquering. And people are just driving to work. This is incredible. So Trudeau launches into his talking points, and we're going to skip a lot of them because they are garbage and lies. Like, he's rewriting history to suit his narrative, which is what I just said. However, we are going to jump ahead, and I will get to the right spot and unpause it. Okay, so this is at 5:50, and Trudeau's talking about the immigration system. And, we're going to look at, a whole bunch of debunking for the things that he's saying, because he is saying things that are easily debunked in his Canada.
Now, our immigration system does a very good job of doing security checks and screenings when people come in, whether they arrive regularly through an airport or whether they cross the border from the United States in an irregular way, as is happening more often these days than ever before. But we have an immigration system that is working. It's not an open border policy. We're not an open country. We're a country that continues to apply every single rule of law we have on the people who arrive here. And we're a country that continues to abide by our international obligations to be a country that provides refuge to people who are fleeing persecution and war.
Okay, so I'm going to pause him there. So here is... Oh, that's the mosque. Hold on. Here is an article. Sorry about that. Here's the article. It says, Syrian refugee Ibrahim Ali is charged with murder of Vancouver schoolgirl Marissa Shen, 13, a case that stunned Canada. Seems rule of law is working in this case. Judge gave excessively light sentence to avert deportation of refugee who threatened to kill police. Appeal court. That was November 19th, 2018. So, again, this is an interesting case where Mustaf Ahmed Yer sentence was given a light sentence in order to keep him in Canada. Interesting. Seems like rule of law didn't quite work there. Teen girls weep as judge dismisses sexual assault charges from West Edmonton Mall wave pool incident. Rule of law, not so good there, Mr. Trudeau. And Sunnybrook Hospital is reporting more than double the shootings since 2014. So, quote, Sunnybrook, home to Canada's largest trauma center, has seen a significant increase in gunshot victims in recent years. December was an especially violent month. It's clear Toronto has a serious gun problem. 2014, there were 64 shootings. In 2018, there were 142. That's more than twice in 4 years. Is that unbelievable? Welcome to Safer Canada under Justin Trudeau, right? Takes over here, 2015, October, but still, wow. Really, really a shocking increase. Doubling of the shootings, more than doubling. That's incredible. And here's another one. Windsor man sentence related to indecent act at aquatic center. And I'll just get to it. Al Hariri pled guilty to assault and indecent act after he was caught pleasuring himself in the shower area at the Windsor International Aquatic and Training Center in May 2016. He was also seen giving a young person a consensual back massage. So he was jerking off in the pool and touching a young person. Do you think that maybe having a conditional sentence or a suspended sentence and 24 months of probation is a light sentence for that? I don't know. So back to Mr. Trudeau. That is in response to his very good vetting of immigrants, and doesn't matter where they come in, whether they cross illegally across the border at Roxham Road or if they're coming through our regular channels. So that seems really concerning, Justin Trudeau, because it seems like I can throw a rock and hit a newspaper article about one of the immigrants or people who have come in under your system and them committing criminal acts or violent acts. And there are many more. I've got a couple of people who have literally died due to unprovoked attacks just because they were walking in the wrong place. And this is in Canada, one in London, one in, I believe, Welland. It's crazy. And you have done nothing. And the question was about mixing, and you are trying to reinvent history. It's insanity. Okay, and at 6:33, he's going to start, right now, he's going to start talking about a population that's aging. I'm going to show you just a quick thing. So he's going to try and make this sound like a really good thing. And I'm going to show you how he is advocating for the end of the Judeo-Christian Canadian Canada that we have known for all of Canadian history. He's advocating to continue the plan of just importing people to continue our growth. The plan is by 2063, that's 45 years from now, 100% of our population growth will come from immigration. And right now, 68% of our population growth comes from immigration. So the replacement rate, the rate at which born Canadians, people who are born in Canada right now, are having babies is very low. And I'm going to show you in just a second with StatsCan. But here, I'll let Trudeau tell his piece first.
That is one of the things that has made Canada great, and that is one of the things that is going to be an incredible advantage for us in the world. We have a population that is aging. We need people to arrive with their talents, with their hopes, with their dreams, with their capacities to work hard, to build our communities, to build our future. We need to get it done right, but we are welcoming in people who are being turned away from other countries for the wrong reasons.
I'm not going to get into the wrong reasons bit. The ICE deportations have been for the right reasons from what I've been reading. That's not the right one. Hold on. Here's our fertility rate chart. In 1926, Canadian women generally were having 3.36 babies each, so 3 or 4 children. In the Great Depression, the low was 2.64, and that was 1937, so 2 or 3 kids during the Great Depression. In 1965, it starts to decrease, and it never, ever recovers, and nobody ever talks about it. This isn't a problem. This is just progress, I suppose, but it has plummeted, and it being the birth rate. So either there might be a problem here because our growth, which our economy depends on growth, they're tightly interwoven, right? If growth ebbs, then our economy will ebb. That's why we need, according to the politicians, immigrants. That's why we need immigrants to build our country. Because since 1965, our birth rate has been plummeting, right? 1970, 2.13, 1975, 1.83, 1980, 1.68, and it doesn't go above 1.68 ever again. Never. It's crazy. Oh, right there, 1.69. Oh, I've disproven myself. But still, it bounces around between 1.61 and 1.58. I think we're at 1.63 in 2017, the last I looked. My point is, nobody is worried about this. Nobody's talking about this. Why are we punishing Canadians for having children by increasing their taxes, by making it very expensive to have a child? We are investing millions of dollars in foreigners in other countries, billions of dollars in other countries, and billions more to help people who are arriving here. Ottawa on pace to spend $400 million next year on border crossings. This is in a year where in 2018 they allocated $172 million for 2 years. They're on pace to blow that expectation out of the water, and nobody's upset about this. In fact, Trudeau's doubling down and saying this is what benefits us. This is what's going to make us strong. It is patently crazy. He is crazy. And the last bit he talks about is how it's going to make our communities stronger. That's one. And it's economically beneficial. And I'm going to show you that it's not. I just did show you that it's not economically beneficial. Like $400 million of unbudgeted money, or even $200 million of unbudgeted money. But this doesn't take into account housing or any of the provincial costs, because the provinces are covering that. So that's another $200 million for Ontario and $200 million for Quebec. And that doesn't take into account educating the children and all of the other tangential costs, including full welfare packages. They get money, right? They get money to spend, cell phones, the whole deal. It's maddeningly crazy. But Trudeau talks about how it makes our communities stronger and it is economically beneficial. I can't find any evidence, not a shred of evidence, that supports his claim. He is a lying liar. And we're going to listen to 20 more seconds of the lying liar.
Reasons, and it is an incredible benefit to Canada. You can see all sorts of stories of people who say, wow, I'm not feeling the usual immigration accepting countries of Canada, the United States, Australia, the UK. Canada is the country that is benefiting from being able to draw in the best and the brightest, because we are still understanding that immigration is an economic benefit to Canadians. It makes our communities more resilient. It makes our country stronger, and it will continue.
He gets the mic right close, and it will continue. What did he say there? This is the other word salad. I have no idea what he means by this. So please, in the comments, do let me know if it's very clear. I've listened to this video more times than I care to admit to try and understand, but I don't understand. He says, I'm not feeling the usual immigration accepting countries of Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia. Oh, I typed it all out. United States, Australia, the UK. Canada is benefiting from being able to draw in the best and brightest because we are still understanding that immigration is an economic benefit to Canadians. That statement it doesn't make any sense, right? I'm going to put it in the comments so you guys can take it apart. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea what he's trying to say there. It's incredible benefit to Canada. I'm not feeling the usual immigration accepting countries of, I don't know. I think he just kind of got lost, but it's more word salad, more ridiculousness. Okay, on the topic of making our countries or communities stronger, here's a Globe and Mail article talking about how Brampton, a town in suburban Ontario, was dubbed a ghetto. And ghetto, I want to make sure everybody understands what ghettoization means, what ghetto means, and what I'm talking about is a ghetto is an isolated or segregated group or area. And self-ghettoization is something that's happening, right? We've got Brampton where people are purchasing land and property, and they're doing it to move into be with their similar religious and similar cultural people, right? So that is ghettoization. They are segregating themselves by moving and creating those neighborhoods. So this article says, I live in a suburban Ontario town where the visible minorities are now the majority. So that's really strange. Takeover completed. And this is the part I'm going to read. The link will be in the description. You can check it out for yourself. Quote, it's an interesting case because you have this clustering and clumping of a particular people through market processes and social relationships, says York University professor Roger Keel, who researches global suburbanization, immigrants from a particular ilk living together. That's the common history of immigrants from the Lower East Side of New York to the 19th century Vienna. In Brampton's case, the clustering was triggered by developers who kept buying farmland and converting them into endless subdivisions. Jobs at the airport, which employed South Asian immigrants for years, also fueled the expansion, attracting South Asians first to Malton and then nearby Brampton. Within a generation, Brampton transformed from Canada's flower-growing capital to its 9th largest city. The population boomed from 234,000 in 1991 to 521,000 in 2011. With that number now estimated at nearly 600,000. But the rapid demographic turnover has not been lost on longstanding residents. Racial tensions ignite over everything from permit battles for a new temple to fireworks regulations for Diwali. In 2014, anti-Sikh flyers distributed by an immigration reform group called Immigration Watch, entitled, quote, The Changing Face of Brampton, and asking residents, quote, is this really what you want? Sparked outrage among Sikh community groups. Another flyer distributed in March 2015 warned the city's dwindling, quote, European population, implying the decline was a result of, quote, white genocide. Whether it's white genocide or white flight, few would dispute that the town has lost a sizable chunk of its white population. White academics shy away from the use of the term white flight to describe what happened to Brampton's white families. Residents speak freely of what they observed in their town, in their own neighborhoods. And I'm not going to get into it. This whole topic I could get into and show you how broken our communities are, but I'll just show you the headlines here. Here's an opinion piece in the news. CBC. I didn't mean to call you news, CBC. The propaganda piece of the Liberal Party, right? Sorry. The dangers of self-ghettoization. They're reporting. The Toronto Sun's talking about build a Muslim ghetto and they will come. And Muslim-only enclaves lead to integration or ghettoization. And this is a 2014 article from the Canadian Jewish News. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but people are definitely talking about self-segregation of communities. And does that make our communities stronger? Does that help us in any way? The final thing I'll leave you with here is I've noticed a consistent MO from Mr. Trudeau, and he likes to, answer tough questions and I'm gonna let this person speak and tell the crowd to respect them. The crowd would have respected him had your agitator not shouted out and whatever. But his MO is insult the questioner while lying to anybody listening. So you would need to have a live fact checker if you went to one of these. And because the stuff that he's spinning is false. It's platitudes that aren't reality. And he knows this. That's why he stacks his town halls with people who agree with them or true believers or whatever. So interesting times. He's trying to turn this weakness into a strength. And I don't know if it's resonating. I don't know if people are believing it. But the more I watch the questions that real people are asking him are pretty poignant. And I think people are sick of the tap dance. I think people are sick and tired of a 7-minute video where Trudeau doesn't answer the question and just kind of laughs and says, "We don't have open borders." Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, we do. And you open them with your tweet and you're an idiot and nobody likes you. All right, that's my very mature way to end the video today. Thanks for watching. Check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. I'm going to check in on Maxime Bernier later on today because, man, I've been busy. It's crazy out there. Canadian politics, who knew you'd be so hard to keep up? Again, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.